Hi, guys. We are here for social studies. If you remember, yesterday we were working on our goods and our services. Now, our goods are things we buy or use, like furniture, like groceries, like clothing, right? Things that maybe Miss Egan right now is sitting on a couch, right? That Mr. Egan and Miss Egan went out and bought. Right now, I'm wearing clothes, right? Right now, I'm using my computer. Those things are goods, right? Things that you go out and buy so that you can use them. And maybe um, they came from the farm, right? Maybe they came from the earth, like an apple, right? That's a good. Or maybe someone made it, but it is a tangible thing that you can hold, right? That's a good. Services are jobs that people do to help other people, like a police officer, a babysitter, a nurse, a teacher. And what I wanted you to pay attention to before I keep going in social studies is that a lot of the times in services, right, those jobs that people do, you'll hear that sound at the end of a word. And when it's talking about a job or something about maybe a profession, that means a person who does, right? I am a teacher, a person who teaches. You are a learner. Your job is to learn. A writer, their job is to write. A lawyer, their job is to follow the law, right? They work with the law. A firefighter, they fight a person who fights fires. So pay attention to that when we talk about services, right? Connect the lines with connect the dots with the things that we're doing in our phonics and with our social studies. So again, goods are things we buy or use. Services are jobs that people do to help other people. Now I have two new words for you today. Ready? The first one is producers. Now, producers are people who grow or make things to sell or provide a service. So if you're producing something, maybe have you ever baked a cookie for the bake sale? You're a producer. You're making something to then sell, right? So if you're a farmer, you're a producer. If you're a teacher, you're a producer. You're producing that service, right? So producers are people who grow or make things to sell or provide a service. Producers. Now, if you're a producer and you're making something to sell, well, someone's going to go buy that, right? Or someone's going to go use your service. They are called consumers. People who buy or use a goods or a service. Right now, you are a consumer. You are being a learner, and I am being a teacher, right? I am providing that service. I am being a producer. You are being a consumer. You are learning. You're being a learner, right? And I want you to listen for these words in the story that I'm going to read to you, okay? All about goods and services, and you'll hear a little bit more about consumers and producers and other things too. Okay. So, this story is called What Do We Buy? A Look at Goods and Services. What do you buy? Have you ever bought sticky, sweet cotton candy? Have you ever paid to have a colorful rainbow painted on your cheek? Cotton candy is a good, right? You went and got that. The face painter is providing a service. Everything that is bought or sold is a good or a service. Let's look at the caption in this picture. This boy's getting his face painted. This woman is painting a design on the boy's face. She is a producer. She's providing a service. If she's a producer and this boy went and paid money to have his face painted, she's a producer. He's a consumer. That's right. He's a consumer. So is this girl. She went and bought the cotton candy. She's a consumer. The person who sold her the cotton candy is the producer. So goods. Goods are things that you can touch, right? Food, clothes, and toys are all goods. Look at all the goods in a toy store. The caption here says, this toy store sells many goods. A marble is a good. When you use money to buy marbles, you are buying goods. Yummy pizza. When you buy a pizza, you are buying a good. Goods are everywhere. Services. Services are jobs that people do for others. A teacher, a plumber, and a server in a restaurant provide services, right? A server in a restaurant is the person who serves you the food, a person who serves. This plumber is fixing the sink. A person who does plumbing, pipes and all those things that connect sinks and bathtubs and toilets, all of that running water in your house, that's called plumbing. And a person who does plumbing is called a plumber, right? A plumber is fixing the sink. He's providing the services. You can buy services. When your bike breaks, you take it to the shop to get it fixed. When it is fixed, you pay the shop money. You are buying a service, right? So you're paying someone to fix the bike for you. You're paying for a service. You're not buying a new bike. You're just paying them to fix your bike. Some services also create goods. A cook in a restaurant provides the service of cooking a hamburger and French fries for you to eat. Have you guys ever gone out and got a hamburger and French fries or chicken nuggets out at a restaurant? Yeah. So the hamburger and French fries or chicken nuggets are goods, right? You go to that restaurant and you are getting their food, right? You don't go in and bring your own food. You go and you pay for their food. When you give the restaurant money, you are paying for both the goods of the food and also the service to have someone else cook the food for you and for someone else to bring you the food. So you're getting goods and a service. These women in this picture here are paying for goods and services at a restaurant. Needs and wants. We know all about needs and wants. Some goods and services are things you need. A need is something you must have. A bed is a need. On cold nights, a blanket is a need too. Food is a good you need. Doctors provide a service you need. Some goods and services are things you want. Video games. A video game is a good you want. Toys and music are wants too. A haircut is a service you want, right? While we've been quarantined at home, right? Who has had their mom or dad cut their hair? We cut Jack and Thomas's hair, right? So it's a service that you want, right? Other people are way better at it, right? The hairdressers, a barber, right? It is their job to provide that service. And for some people, it might be a need. For other people, it might be a want. Some people are kind of good at cutting hair. Miss Egan is not. So maybe for Jack and Thomas, it might be, I don't know. A haircut is a service you want, right? If your hair is long, you're still healthy and safe. But it's a service your mom wants. That's a funny joke. Okay, here's our new words, right? Producers and consumers. Did you know that you are a consumer and a producer? A consumer is someone who buys or uses goods and services. See these boys down here? These boys are consumers. They are buying candy. You are a consumer when you buy a new toy. You are a consumer right now when you listen to your teacher read a book. A producer is someone who makes goods or provides services. You are a producer when you make cookies for a bake sale. You are a producer when you wash your mom's car, right? You're doing a service for mom. You are washing her car for her, right? Resources. To make goods and provide services, we need resources. Resources are things we use to create goods and services. This girl right here, these cleaning supplies are resources. The girl needs them to do her chores. Natural resources, which we talked all about during Earth Day and that whole week, natural resources come from nature. The sun, the trees, and water are natural resources. These crops are growing in a field. They need plenty of sun and water. Human resources are the people who do work. Builders, teachers, and scientists are human resources, right? The people who are doing the work or who are providing the work behind the service, right? So these workers here, 1, 2, 3, they are the ones building a house. Those are human resources. They are the ones doing it. So natural resources are things that come from the earth. Human resources are resources that only people can provide, right? The people need to do the work. And then capital resources are goods made by people to make other goods or services, like this hammer here. A hammer isn't found in nature, right? A hammer doesn't come from earth. Things our natural resources, right? Our water, it's our air, soil, plants and animals, right? Those are all natural things that come from the earth. Humans provide a different type of work. Human resources, a different type of work. Capital resources are things that are made by people, like a hammer, a computer, a phone, right? Those are not things that come from the earth. They are things that people make and that you use to do other things, right? You use a hammer to make other goods or services, right? These men, right now, they are building the house, but they're going to need some capital resources like a hammer, like some screwdrivers, like a power drill, right? Right now, in order for me to be a teacher, right, I'm a human resources, but because we're not in school, I need our computer to do my job, right? And you need a computer to do your job as a learner. So that is a capital resource. Resources make goods and services all around you. Fruits and vegetables grow on farms. This woman sells them at a farmer's market. So fruits and vegetables are a natural resource, right? They come from the earth. Think about some goods and services that you buy, right? When you go to the grocery store, every time you're there and you buy something, you're buying a good. So I hope you had a lot of fun listening to that story. There's so much things that are going on around us all the time, and it's so fun to learn about them. So what I would like for you to do now that you're all done listening to me read you that story is if you have this paper, you're going to look at the different goods and services that are here. And you're going to read each row from here, starting from 1 to 5. You're going to read each row and circle whether it names a good or a service that someone does. So light bulbs, are they a good or a service? Nurse, is a nurse a good or a service? A barber, is that a good or a service? Cupcakes, are they a good or a service? And a trash collector, do they provide a good or a service? And then at the bottom, I want you to draw a picture of a good and a picture of a service job. And underneath, label each one that you did, right? Write what each one is, and label the job and maybe who makes them too, okay? All right, guys, have so much fun. I hope you enjoyed listening about goods and services and producers, and you guys were fantastic consumers listening to me. All right, talk to you later.